Hello guys, welcome back to another live YouTube session, and we are going to start with the second class of the series that I've just started on the reading module. So we started with the yes, no, not given questions, and we discussed the strategies of approaching them, and today we're going to be working on the step-by-step process that you should follow every time you see a yes, no, not given question. And at the same time, once we discuss that, we'll be following it up with an example. So we're going to be doing the question as well today. So let me just rearrange my system so I can see your comments. I know it's kind of a bit early and people are all lazy, but that's how technology is for us, isn't it, guys? You can just watch them later. So anyways, if you could see on the left side of the screen, they are my social media profiles. So in case you watch me later and you still have questions to ask me, you can definitely ask me. So these are my social media profiles. Just give me a second. That's my Telegram, Instagram, and Facebook. So I'm quite media friendly. I'm available all the time. So you can definitely get back to me even if you're watching me later and you have any questions or any associated questions. And all those who are joining in, guys, keep introducing yourself. You can type in the comment section. In the last class, I was actually getting the comments late, so I started responding a bit later, but I'm gonna keep keeping a track. That's why I just say the best is if you could just come on my Telegram, because on Telegram I get the responses really quickly. So even if things are not working on other platforms, Telegram I get it very quickly. We have Sonia Tucker here. Hello Sonia. Tell me about yourself briefly. Sonia is attending my class for the first time, right? And I have this key feature in me that I tend to remember the name of all my students. Even if they come up with weird names on the YouTube, I still tend to remember their names. I can see there are more number of people who are live. Guys, keep introducing yourself. It's nice to know each other because I would like to know your names when you are talking or when I'm talking. We have Shivani here. Hi Shivani. Shivani was there in the previous class. And guys, could you please just share the link on different social media groups if you're part of, so we have more people who are discussing and giving wrong answers, so we know more of wrong answers and we can correct more. Sonia, tell me about yourself. What do you do? When is your exam? When are you, which exam are you planning to give? I know pretty much about Shivani because I had a conversation with her later as well. Share the link on different groups, or maybe just put a reminder also on the different groups that I'm live now. So there are more people who are joining in. So today, as I was saying, I've started a series of classes. So yes, I think day before yesterday we had a first series class, the first class of the series, where we discussed the strategies that you need to keep in mind. And today is the second class of that series where we'll be dealing with step-by-step process. तो आपको कैसे step-by-step process follow करके अपने questions attempt करने हैं, that we'll be discussing, and after that we'll be doing a question 2. So all your steps are going to be clarified at the same time. So That's why I'm saying you have to be super active today, because I would be needing you to tell me the answers. Okay? By the way, our first slogan on Unacademy, which is let's crack it. But as I always say, I have modulated it, especially for the IELTS preparation. It's let's crack it and score higher, because I'm sure everybody is capable of cracking IELTS. I'm sure. But getting the right desired high score is what we need to be working on. सबको आ जाएगा 6 के नीचे 5-6 आप बिना प्रिपेयर करके भी जाओगे 5-6 तक आ जाएगा. उससे ऊपर लाना 7 से above लाना, you need little help, and that's why I'm present in front of you. So nothing to worry. So Sonia is planning to give GT. Okay, that's great. Have you already taken the date, Sonia, for the exam? I keep asking because there are students who have their exam like literally after 2 weeks. And I remember there was this student who just took the subscription a couple of days back, and he's like, ma'am, my exam is on 15th. How can we do things? And I'm like, damn. I literally wrote down each and every day's schedule, how we're going to be working things out. So even in the last few days, your revision is very, very important. Your revision in terms of the strategies, along with 1-2 questions for each question type. So that should be very, very important. Last few days are very, very crucial. All those who are joining in, guys, keep introducing yourself. Sonia is saying she hasn't yet taken the dates, basically. Okay. Thank God. So Sonia, you can actually, I have started a crash course which I'll talk about. Wait for the course to be completed, then only think of writing the exam. Otherwise, again, I'll have to make dates for each and everybody. कैसे prepare करोगे आप लोग एक दिन? Sorry. All those who are joining in, keep introducing yourself, guys. As I was saying, I've started the course, which is a 1 month crash course. So all those who have English already, which is little on the edgy side, but they just need little bit additional pull in terms of understanding these strategies and working in quite confined time. And also I know a lot of students who are planning to give the exams by January, February max. Yeah. So that's why I thought of bringing up a crash course, which is like a 1 month crash course that has just started. We just had one class on 1st of December and the second class is today. So I'm covering all the 4 modules in that. Either it's listening, then we'll be following it up. I started with listening, and then we'll be going as per your pattern of your exam. So we'll be going to reading, then writing, and then speaking, right? So December is actually very productive. Generally you don't have all the 4 modules in one particular month, but yes, so December, in 1 month you'll be covering with all the 4 modules, and with quite confined strategic way. So you are actually preparing quickly and smartly. Yeah. Other than that, we have a very exciting course here. Just give me a second. Yes, which is the first batch course on a particular category, where top 4 educators have come together, and we'll be sharing, each of them will be dealing with each module personally. And I am going to be talking about the speaking module. I have myself got a band score of 8 in speaking. So I've decided to deal with the speaking module, okay, and others will be taking care individually of reading, writing, as well as listening. Yeah, so that course is starting from 7th of December, and why we came up with this particular course was because there are so many students who tend to miss their live classes because they are relatively busy during the weekdays. So we thought of bringing up a batch course which will be running only during the weekend, Saturday ko or Sunday ko. So there'll be classes on Saturday evening and Sunday evening. Yeah. So actually the schedule is on my profile. If you go to my Unacademy profile and you go to courses and go to the plus courses, you're gonna see the course put up there. And if you press the link, I have put up a video in that where I'm explaining about the course. I'm talking about the advantages, and you can see the schedule of each and every class. And if you're not aware of other educators, I have explained in the video as well. So there's a small course video which will explain you everything. Okay? Make sure at least you're going and checking the demo video. Okay? So this is like a weekend course, so it's going to be working only Saturday, Sunday, and it's a 2 months course. Yeah? And the other educators are also all experienced top faculties on Unacademy. Yeah. So yes, that's pretty much about the 2 exciting courses that have come up. And to be able to attend those classes, you'll have to take a subscription for that, right? So if you go to the profile and click on the videos, you're going to see a button popping up which is the subscription button, because these are all plus courses, right? And there are a lot of advantages of plus courses where you are getting live structured courses by all the top educators. Like for example, even if you take subscription under my referral code, right? My referral code is Fatma Meenaal. So if you use my referral code, you're going to get 10% discount on that, okay? But even if you take my referral code and you're taking one subscription, the coolest advantage of being on Plus is that you're not just listening to one educator, you will get an opportunity to listen to all the classes. Sare educators ki sari baat sunne milegi. Yeah? And I personally feel that's the best advantage of being on Plus, right? So you're not just listening to me by taking my subscription, but at the same time, you are listening to everyone. Okay? And obviously, like in the Plus, we have a lot more number of hours. So all the courses are very strategically structured and prepared, ताकि आप बहुत ही step by step way में prepare कर सको. Yeah? And the classes are live, so you can take advantage of clarifying all your questions, all your doubts live. But at the same time, अगर आपकी class miss हो जाती है, so you have an opportunity to watch them offline later as well, because the moment the live class gets over, within couple of minutes the video is put up, right? The video is put up, you can download the PDF, you can watch them later. Yeah, so you have both online and offline opportunities. So even if you tend to miss the class, we all have technology here, that's why technology has come up. You can watch them later. And in case अगर आपको कोई question बाद में भी put up होता है, तो you have doubt clearing session after every 3 class. You have 1 doubt clearing session. So आप हर 3 class के बाद doubt clearing session में आप store करके रख सकते हो, आप पूछ सकते हो एक बार में ही. अगर आपको otherwise you can definitely ask in each class, but in case you're not able to attend back to back 3 classes or something like that, you can definitely make sure that you're coming for the doubt clearing session and clarifying all doubts. And personally, I am available on different social media groups also. Like students tend to send me their questions on Telegram, so I'm always available. Yes, but before midnight. I'm not gonna respond to anybody if they're messaging me after midnight. I know people are studying quite late night, but I need to sleep, guys. Anyways, till midnight, 12 बजे के पहले मेरे को भेजोगे questions, so I'm available. And also one important thing, that you have weekly and mega quizzes. So it gives you a good opportunity to assess your performance, especially for any time frame exam. It's very, very important that you keep tracking your performance, because accordingly you'll have to remodulate how you need to work, right? For example, if you feel your performance is not going that great, you can come and talk to us and we'll work things out accordingly, right? Because every student is different, every student's capacity to work on a particular schedule is different. So I personally deal with everyone personally and individually, या जो भी मेरे प्लस पे हैं दे गेट दिस एडिशनल एडवांटेज बिकॉज आई डील एवरीबडी सिचुएशन पर्सनली. किसी के पास 2 महीने हैं, किसी के पास 10 दिन है, किसी के पास 15 दिन है. सो वी वर्क अकॉर्डिंगली. Yeah, that's why since we have more time, plus classes are also very very interactive and engaging. So कोई मेरे क्लास में सोता नहीं है. Everybody has to be super attentive because I keep pestering about answering the questions and keep asking me doubts. And I don't mind any silly doubts, but people need to ask me doubts. Yeah? So that's pretty much the advantages of being on Plus. Is there any question? Any question, anybody? And all those who are joining in later, guys, keep introducing yourself so I can know who am I talking to. Keep introducing yourself, guys. By the way, we also have free special classes on Unacademy to give you a rough idea about how we teach. So if you could follow us on our Unacademy profile, if you go to Unacademy and just on the search button type my name, you're going to find me. If you follow me, you're going to be updated. You'll be getting a message from Unacademy about each and every class that I take. You'll be notified. So make sure you're following me over there as well. Yeah, so you are updated with all the classes. All those who are joining in, guys, keep introducing yourself. Perfect. No questions? Nobody is interested in asking me questions? कहीं से भी आप questions ला सकते हो, कोई problem नहीं है इसमें. By the way, I'm Meenaal and I am professionally an architect and an urban designer, and I have lived, worked and studied in London for the past 2 years, and I have myself given IELTS as well as IELTS UK and got an overall band score of 7.5, and I have been taking classes for IELTS both in India as well as in UK for the past 3 years now. It's been 3 years since I've been doing this. So in India I started recently. Before that I was in UK, so I was working things out for students in UK. We have more people here. Hi Punya. Punya is from Chennai and he's preparing for academic IELTS. That's great. Currently, no. Currently I'm in India. I got back recently from UK and currently I'm in India. I'm live in front of you from Pune. Anyone out there from Pune? Punya, I guess I remember you. You've attended my class before, isn't it, Punya? And guys, another point which people keep asking me, जो मेरे को अभी suddenly याद आ गया है. Just a second. Yes. It's kind of difficult to go live on YouTube because I have to see couple of screens. So, and the thing is, guys, even if you comment something, don't worry because I'm gonna keep responding to everybody's messages once I've done with the description on the screen. Okay? So आपके पास जो भी कुछ पूछना है, आपको जो भी दिमाग में आता जा रहा है, आप keep typing. Once I'm done with this, like discussing on from things from the screen, I'll get back to you. Yeah, Punya says yes, I remember. As I was saying, I tend to remember the name of my students even if they come once. That's a key feature of Meenaal Fatma. कुछ नहीं पूछ रहा आप लोगों को. Should we start with the class? और जो लोग क्लास ज्वाइन कर रहे हो guys, keep introducing yourself so I know who all are there. And could you please just share the link and just remind everybody to not be lazy on, is it Tuesday? Tuesday morning. I know it's a bit early, but बाकी लोग भी आ जाएंगे तो ज़्यादा मज़ा आएगा because you're solving a question today. The cool guy is here. Aniket, right? Aniket? The common man? So you have two very exciting courses in December. Guys, it's a productive month. Trust me, you're not gonna get, because all the 4 modules are being covered in 1 month. So even if you come for 1 month, you are actually going through all the 4 modules briefly. Yeah? So let's start with the class. As I was saying, I've started a series where we'll be covering different reading modules, right? Obviously, I have less amount of time, so I'm going to be going little quickly, where unlike on my Plus, I have more time, so I give time and discuss very, very elaborately. But here I just thought that if I'll go, like, you should have a rough idea how I'm teaching. I just want to give you a good grip of how I teach. So I've started a series, and series की आज दूसरी class है. तो first class में I talked about the strategies of attempting yes, no, not given questions, and the fundamental difference between true, false, not given and yes, no, not given questions. ठीक है? So today, in today's class, we're just following it up from where we left, and we're going to be discussing how you're going to be solving your questions, step-by-step process to solve them. And then we'll be doing a question. All of us will be doing it for the first time. I'm going to be doing it for the first time in front of you. ठीक है? तो सब एक साथ करेंगे और सब आंसर्स बताएंगे अपने, and then we'll be discussing the answers. Okay? And all those who hate reading too much and want to just get the answers quickly, I'm the perfect person for you, because now I started, like, I enjoy reading, because when I moved to UK, that time it became like a compulsion to read, because other than India, bahar mein reading becomes a necessity, so I had to read a lot. So now I've got used to it, but back in the day when I was preparing for the exam, I used to hate reading, but I just needed my answers quickly. So I have just put up all those smart ways to read less and get your answers quickly. Yeah? How many of you guys hate reading? Batao meko. Shivani is saying reading is all about synonyms. Kind of, Shivani, kind of. It is actually बहुत सारी चीज़ों में से एक चीज़ important है. Synonyms. Personally, if you'll ask me, the most important thing is to be able to skim through things quickly. To be able to just extract those one word, couple of words, which you mark in your keywords, and find them as soon as possible. Yeah? How many of you guys don't like reading? Guys, keep talking to me. And all those who are joining in, keep introducing yourself. Shivani, so you worked on your synonyms properly? Shivani hates? Same. Punya also? Great. Well done, guys. You come at the right place at the right time. Great. Okay. Let's look at the step-by-step process. ठीक है? चलो. In case when I'm explaining and you have something that is not quite clear, you can comment and let me know. I'll go through it again for you. Okay? And if you think you can talk about the pace of my conversation also. If you think I'm speaking very fast, you can ask me to go slow. In case you have any problem with any language, because I tend to mix both the languages, Hindi and English, because the kind of students I have, they just prefer little Hindi as well. But in case if there's anybody who's not comfortable with Hindi, can you just type and let me know? Anybody who is not comfortable with Hindi? Nobody? Shivani wants only English. Okay. Punya also is not comfortable with Hindi, so I'll go. Okay, perfect. I'll go English. No worries. What about others? Guys, keep responding. I can see so many people here. People are lazy commenting. Not fair, guys. Okay, let's start the class. Now, yesterday I did discuss about how you're going to be differentiating between your true, false, not given and yes to not given questions. So the first step is to make sure that you're reading the question. Sometimes what happens is, we obviously before going for the exam, I'm sure you all will practice many times before you go for the exam. And with the overconfidence, what happens is people tend to just skip reading the questions. Okay? And that is one most common error that people do. You have to make sure that you are reading the question to make sure that you are double checking if it's a true, false, not given or a yes, not given question, because on the basis of which question category it is, the content in your question statement will change, right? Because in your yes or not given question, it is the opinion of the author, it is the point of view of any particular person that is mentioned. It is never the factual information that is given in the question statement. So if you start finding the factual information from the question statement to the passage, then you're going to waste a lot of your time, right? Because true, false, not given mein kya hota hai? It will be a factual information that will be put up. And unlike that, in yes to not given questions, you will mostly have an opinion, right? A thought process, an opinion. So make sure fundamentally you're reading your question and clarifying yourself what it is. Okay? So that's the first thing you need to do. Make sure you're reading the question. Okay? After that, guys, first tell me what is your approach? Who reads the question first and who reads the passage first? How do you guys approach? Let me see. What is your way of approaching? Do you guys read the passage or do you guys read the questions first? What do you guys do? Or you guys have not started practicing yet? Shivani reads the question first in yes or not given. Okay. What about others? What about Punya? And true, false, not given maybe. Okay. Guys, this is one thing that I would not tell you like do this, right? I'm not one of those educators who will be very authoritative ki yahi karo. I personally feel that this is one thing that you need to develop yourself, because every individual is different and we should accept our difference. कुछ लोगों को question पढ़ के passage करने में ज़्यादा time save कर पाते हैं, and there are some people who tend to read the passage first because that gives them the satisfaction. So what you can do is you can try practicing both the sides and see how things work for you. But if you'll come and ask me for a suggestion, no matter which question type it is, whichever question of reading module comes, I personally recommend to go and read the questions. That saves your time. First of all, number one, that saves your time, because if you don't like reading, you will know what you will actually start skimming and scamming in your passage. ठीक है? So it suddenly, point number 2, it focuses your attention on key areas which you will be focusing on in the passage. ठीक है? And out of all the things that you have to understand, you will skip through them and understand only those things which you need. That's point number 3. ठीक है? And actually there are so many advantages, but these are personally my key areas. So ultimately you are saving your time, and that's the key thing to do in your exam, because reading module के जो time होता है 1 घंटे का, वो बहुत जल्दी चला जाता है. And reading module में you don't get additional time to put your answers to your answer sheet. You don't get that time, right? In 1 hour only you have to do all the questions and transfer your answers to the answer sheet too. You're not getting any additional time. ठीक है? So time is how you can save your time and perform quickly. That is one area where you have to work on, and this is one area which can actually help you save time, because that strategically confines you to the areas where you have to work on. Okay, so I personally recommend कि always, no matter which question category it is, make sure you're reading the question statements first, right? So that is going to be your step 2. You're going to go and read your statements, and you're going to try and understand the meaning of each, right? Just don't read it for the sake of reading. Make sure you are understanding, because to skip if you want to skip understanding each and every word and line of the passage, you have to make sure that you're understanding the lines of your question statement. If you're able to understand those 5-6 lines of your question statement, then you don't have to understand the overall passage. But make sure you're giving time to understand what it exactly is trying to imply in terms of overall content. Sometimes you might not understand any one word, but don't worry, that's not the problem. You have to understand the gist of it. That's the main problem, where people just read it for the sake of it and quickly mark it and start finding it in the passage. Don't do that. Make sure the overall content also of that particular question statement is clear in your head, right? Because that's going to help you find the answers quickly. Okay? Next one is, make sure you are familiarizing yourselves with these synonyms, right? So when you're reading the question statement and you have words which you think can be put up differently in the passage, you need to quickly think in your head about the possible synonyms that it can bring up. Yeah, you have to think about, maybe it could be just a synonym, or maybe it could just be a paraphrased version. So quickly you need to think about those things in your head. Okay? So as Shivani was telling earlier, synonyms, finding synonyms is very, very important in your reading module. Yeah? Next one is, you have to then prepare for your question statement before you go to the passage. And that preparation would be where you would underline or mark out your keywords. By the way, generally if you've not yet decided to take the exam and you're planning to decide on a date, I personally recommend to go for paper-based exams, because that is a little bit more handy and you can scribble down, right, make quick notes all around. So make sure you are planning to write paper-based. Shivani, which exam are you giving? Is it paper-based or computer-based? So you have to quickly find out the main subject or the keyword of that particular question statement. Har question statement ka you're going to be finding the keyword, right? And make sure you are trying to understand the meaning of the question statement, because never ever in any question you're going to find the exact word. Either it's going to be in the form of synonyms, or it's going to be in the form of paraphrasing. ठीक है? So sometimes what happens is that entire one statement that is in the question statement, you might find it if you find it in couple of words. Sometimes you can find it in the paragraph in one sentences. Sometimes you might find it in one complete paragraph. It could be paraphrased in quite different ways, so you have to be careful. That's why I stressed on making sure that you understand the meaning of the question. ठीक है? Any questions till now? Now once you are, in case you have any questions, you can keep commenting, okay? Once you are done preparing your question statement, you have understood the meaning, you're done with your finding your keywords, and at the same time, once you're finding the keywords, you're also demarcating, like underlining any associated facts that you think. It's not necessary that you might have just one keyword, you might have two keywords, and all those words that can possibly come in a different way. You've just guessed maybe yes, this word might give me might be put up differently in the passage. You've done all your guessworks, okay? And then after that you go to your passage, right? And the step one is to find which paragraph it is, right? You need to then just a second. Okay, yes, it's here. So then the next step is that you need to understand which paragraph is the answer lying in. And for that, since you already have your keywords marked, right, you will quickly try to find them by not going through each and every line, but quickly skimming it and finding that particular word, not exactly that particular word, but its paraphrased version. Right? So you're not trying to understand each and every line, but in fact you're just trying to be careful about if there's something that is relatively meaning the same. Yeah? So you're not actually worrying about reading everything, and it's not at all necessary, guys, to understand each and every word. Please do not get panicky if there are a couple of words which you are not getting cleared of. You don't have to worry about it. क्योंकि आपको सब समझने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. You don't need to understand everything, and that's again, if you're worrying about that you're not understood one line, you're not working out your questions smartly. You don't have to. Don't worry about it. First of all, the key thing is to stay calm and not get panicky. The moment you get panicky, you're like, I'm not getting my answers, then you're gonna lose your track. So just relax, okay? So the first thing is you're finding which paragraph the answer could possibly lie. Right? And as I was saying, in your yes or not given questions, which I discussed in the first class, is always going to be in order. In case you have not seen the class that I took before this class on YouTube, make sure you're listening to it, because this is like a follow-up class, okay? So the questions will be in order. So if you found your first answer in your first paragraph, you will, or maybe in your second paragraph, your first answer is in your second para, right? You know that the second answer will not be in the first paragraph. It's going to be after that, because it's going to have a certain order of following up things, okay? And this is one key area which I always talk about every question. Most of the questions will not have a certain order of following up the answers in terms of paragraph, but this is the advantage of true false not given questions. In spite of them being very tricky in terms of option, they give this leverage where the questions answers are in order in terms of the paragraph. Okay, clear? So once you've got your first answer, you go ahead and put it up. And couple of things you have to make sure that the difference between, first of all, no and not given. So when the answer is yes, it will be, the information needs to be the exact match, right? Even if they are put up in terms of words, synonyms, paraphrasing differently, but the overall meaning should be exactly the same. ठीक है? अगर आप, if you're putting out the answer to be no, and that means the answer is actually the text is in the passage, but it is put up wrongly in terms of what it is in the question statement. And not given is when you are just not finding it anywhere, and it's always little confusing between no and not given. So make sure you're just clearing your head in terms of what is no, when things are going to be no, and when things are going to be not given. Okay. Because it sometimes gets very tricky to find if the information was given there or information was given incorrectly. Okay, so be careful on that. And other than that, yesterday we just discussed about the qualifying words and the distractors which are put there to confuse you, and you have to be overly careful about those words. So make sure I have elaborated it in the previous class. Ab ek baar, if you missed the class, make sure you are going back to the first class and double checking. Okay, and similarly you're going to be following your follow-up points as well. Next questions ke. ठीक है? Is this all clear? Should we go to the question now? Because I'm excited. I love solving reading module ke questions. And I've actually have the most successful courses of mine are reading module, because people find the way my approach to doing questions really interesting. So I've got really good feedbacks on my reading module purposely, because all those who don't like reading, they enjoy doing it with me because it saves time. Anyway, so is everybody ready? Guys, ready? So how we're going to do this is, I'm trying to make you do it from my way today. Try and do it from my way and see if it works for you. I'll be giving you time to read the question, understand the question, right? So I'm going to give you time. After that, I'll give you time to find it in the passage, okay? And simultaneously, I'll be doing the question too with you, okay? And then you can put out your answers, and you can tell me where did you find the answers, so you can help me find the answers too. And we'll discuss whatever answers you put out, right? So if it's correct, if it's not correct, why if it's not correct, I'll justify all the answers, okay? So I will not let you go through this first. Let's read the question. It's a true, false, not given question, guys. You have to be overly careful about this. It's a true, false, not given question. And I was talking about it in my previous class, that in your true, false, not given question, you have to understand that it's going to be exact facts, right? And in your yes or not given question, it is opinions. So as I was saying today, in the first step will be that you have to make sure that you are understanding if it's a true, false, not given question, or if it's a yes or not given question. Okay? So the questions are in front of you. Make sure you are understanding the meaning, you're marking your keywords, and at the same time, you're guessing all the synonyms that could be in the passage. And I'm giving you time. Your time starts now. How many of you are doing it? Quickly comment and let me know. Ankit's internet is messed up. Okay, no worries. Punya is doing it. Great. The question, it's a reading module question, Ankit, and the question is in front of you. You have to decide whether these sentences are true, false, not given, and I've also discussed how you're going to be approaching these questions. So first step is to understand if it's a true, false, not given question or a yes or not given question, and then reading the question statements, trying to understand the meanings, marking your keywords, or you can have a couple of keywords that can help you find, just a sec, yeah, you can have a couple of keywords, right? And you have to, if there are particular words which you think will help you get your synonyms or paraphrased version easily, you have to think about them too. You have to be overly careful about the distractors, which I discussed yesterday. Yeah, so do all that, get your question statements preparation ready, and then I'm going to take you through the passage. Punya, come on, do it. Who else is doing it? I can see more people there. Who else is doing this? Great, do it. In fact, my internet was quite disturbing yesterday evening, so I had to get back on my broadband, guys. Oh, they had a good time for me. You need to work it out in your, if you are working on a pen paper, you can do that. If you want to just quickly take a picture and then scribble it on your phone, you can do that as well. But scribbling is important. You have to make a mess of your paper. Who else is doing other than Punya and Ankit? Who else is doing it? So the moment you know it's a true, false, not given, and not yes or not given, you know the facts are going to be, the question statements are going to be exact factual information. So make sure, I have purposely put this to confuse, so you are done with getting confused in your exam, because every time you see a question like this, people tend to just skip it, because questions are going to be will be put up differently. In the following up class, I'm going to also put up one example of yes or not given question, so then you will be understanding the basic difference a lot more properly. All those who are live, guys, can you tell me if you're preparing for the questions? And also another very key point I wanted to tell you guys, sometimes you might wanna say that this particular statement is false from your own understanding, from maybe somewhere you've read, or there are some easy facts which you think are obvious. Don't go with it. Don't go with it. Make sure you find the answer in the passage. You're relating it with the passage, because sometimes they are just put up there to confuse you, because it's gonna be so obvious in terms of what it is meaning in the question statement, and we have an obvious guess that it's going to be false. It's an obvious guess, but it doesn't really happen every time. They are just put there to confuse you, to make obvious wrong guesses, because it would have no connection with the information in the passage. So even if you have something very obvious that you want to answer, don't get tempted. Make sure you're finding it in your passage at the same time. So is everyone ready? Should we go? Should we go to the passage and do it together? I'm going to be skimming and scamming at the same time with you guys. Let's just read the options, okay? I'm going to be reading the options. The first point is saying, raising levels of literacy was the main theme of the conference. Okay, so I know that my main keyword is conference, By the way guys, I have told this in my previous class because I can see new names today. I'm just clarifying the couple of things which are easy eye catchers, right? Such as the name of any proper noun, date, figures, numbers, address, time, right? These are easy eye catchers. So the moment you have them in your question, you have to just open your eyes more. Yeah, because they are easy eye catchers. Chalo, let's see what keywords you guys have worked on. Let's see, okay? Just keep telling me if your keywords are the same or not, or I have marked something else. See, the thing is, you guys can go very personal with this. If you think there's something else that can help you, you can tell me too. We're all doing at the same time. I'm doing with you guys. Okay? So raising levels of literacy was the main theme of the conference. Okay, so I know there'll be a major discussion of the conference, and I need to find out the main theme. If the main theme was raising level of literacy or not, right? So I've quickly scribbled things down that I know my main conference discussion would be there, and I have to double check if what was the main theme. Was it raising literacy or not, or the entire discussion was not there? Okay, next one. Online platforms such as Facebook and Twitter can have negative effect on young people's life, right? Now what do I see? There are a couple of things happening, right? There are discussion of online platforms giving some sort of a negative impact on who? On young people. Yeah, so we'll have to check if there's a discussion about online platform or not, and if it is mentioned that it is kind of creating a negative effect or not. And I can actually roughly kind of guess that maybe Facebook and Twitter might have different sort of synonyms, है ना? Facebook, Twitter को और भी बहुत अलग-अलग way से together, if you put them together, you can be guessing them or saying them in quite different ways, right? Something related to media, isn't it? Similarly, in young people's life, young people can be put up differently. So I'll be careful about Facebook, Twitter, young people, because I know they can be mentioned differently. I'm not guessing which ones it could be, but I'm just being careful that, okay, these are the words that can be put up differently. Okay, you don't have to start making a note of what possible things can it be. Don't waste your time, but you're just being careful about these words. Okay, next one is, there is evidence that the presence of pets in school helps kids with mental health issues. Okay, so it is actually giving some sort of an evidence, which is like proof. So maybe in some conversation they're going to talk about some sort of a proof, right? So there will be some discussion, and it will be in terms of giving an evidence, right? Then we'll be checking if is actually presence of pets in schools, is it actually helping kids with mental health issues or not? Yeah. If anybody is marking anything differently or thinking differently, you can tell me, because I do not believe in any standard procedure. Everybody can have their own opinions. Pachu is here. Hi Pachu. Pachu, we are doing this reading module ka question, which is true, false, not given for today. I have put it up purposely so people get confused and clarify their doubts from yes to not given questions. So we are just discussing the question statements, and after that we'll be going to the paragraph. Okay. Last one is, so evidence I can also find it in different ways, so I'm overly careful about it. Yeah, I'm overly careful about evidence. It can be put up differently maybe, isn't it? That's one word which can actually be put up differently. I'm not guessing what it is, but I'm being careful about it. Okay. Next one is, the government minister may introduce a national scheme promoting well-being dogs in schools. Yeah. So I know is somewhat government minister it's just giving me a guess that government minister could be discussed quite differently in terms of paraphrasing. Okay, but they're talking about bringing up a national scheme, right? So the minister is actually planning to bring out a national scheme which will be promoting something, right? So first I'll be checking if the government minister is actually planning to introduce or not, and if they are planning to introduce a scheme, are they actually planning to promote this particular information or not? Okay, so I have done my preparation already. Now since I already know, I'm so precise of knowing what I'm gonna do, now I'm gonna start skimming and scanning the passage. Okay, I'm not gonna read each and every line beautifully and try and understand every single word. Is everyone ready? Everybody got the keywords? What I would suggest you guys, if you're watching it on your laptop, you can quickly take a picture of the screen, right? And then you can have it in your hand, so you are quickly being careful about your keyword and then looking at the paragraph. Keyword and the paragraph. Quickly take a picture. Quickly take a picture. Yes, it's a very important class, Pachu. Everybody is ready with the picture? Because you want it handy in your hand, so you can just see the words and try and find them one by one, one by one, one by one. Ready? You have to type ready, guys. I can see so many people live right now. Quickly, quickly, are you guys ready? Let's start with the passage now. Okay? Okay. Now you have the thing in your hand, right? Let's start with the first point, which says raising levels of literacy was the main theme of conference. Yeah? You have to find that particular information. So start finding if there's any discussion about the conference and tell me quickly. Find out your main keyword, not try and understand everything. जिसको कीवर्ड दिखेगा मेरे को जल्दी से बताएगा कहाँ पे मिल रहा है. So I'm gonna just go with you guys. I'm not gonna read myself. Quickly, you're just going like, you are not reading everything, but you're going like the University of Buckingham, powerfully cost effective. Anthony was, Punya says second line end. Okay, let me just go through. So speaking at a conference. Oh, I know a conference is coming up, isn't it? Okay. The need to improve young people's. Okay, okay, okay. I'll just make sure that I'm reading the second line too. So I am not just sticking to one keyword. Yeah. So I'm just gonna quickly read the second line too. If there's any additional. Sometimes it can be a trap where they say something else at the beginning and they follow up something differently. Okay. Asa says. Fourth line. Okay, so there's again conference there, and okay, there's again conference discussion. Okay, let me just quickly, now I've got my keywords, so I'm gonna try and find the meaning of the around that keyword, right, which was in context to conference. I had to find out if there's what is the main theme of that conference, right? So let's see. Sir Anthony was speaking at a conference about the need to improve young people's sense of well-being. The University of Buckingham's Ultimate Well-being in Education Conference examined how to respond to stresses and anxieties facing young people. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? It's quite obvious there. I'm not reading the entire line, but with just 2 lines, I know what the answer is. What's the answer? Quickly. The conference main theme was people's sense of well-being and associated stresses and anxieties. What is the answer? Quickly, it's okay to go wrong. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Quick, quick, it needs to be quick. And the question statement was saying that the main conference theme was raising levels of literacy, isn't it? So you actually have the information, what was the theme of the conference in your text, right? But the theme is something else than it is mentioned in the question statement, isn't it? So your main theme is not raising levels of literacy, right? It is something else. It is in context to sense of well-being. Yeah? Asta is saying false, I guess. What about other guys? It's an easy one. Come on. I just read 2 lines and I've got my answer. What is it? It's false. Right? Why it's false? Because the information is given, but it is given wrongly. The theme of the conference is discussed, but the theme is something else. Yeah? Is it clear? It is not mentioned anywhere that the theme was raising levels of literacy. Literacy has no connection with the conference. Conference was all about sense of well-being and sense of... Shivani, we are solving first true, first not given question. So it's going to be false for you. Okay? Did you remember? So your answer is actually false. Yeah, I got it. Clear? Is this clear? Any confusion? Anybody has any confusion, or it's clear? Why it's false and why it's not given? Because it is given, but it is given in a wrong way. Next one. What was the next one? Next one was online platforms creating negative effects. Okay? Let me be careful about anything related to online. Okay, so I'll follow up from where I stopped, because as we know, these sort of questions will be will always have an order, right? So I start going ahead. So I'll be careful about if there's any discussion about online platforms, or if there's any discussion about young students. So online platforms and young students, right? Let's see. So I finished till here, so I'm gonna quickly find, I'm just skimming quickly. I'm not trying to read every word. Oh, I got a word, social media, which might be related to Facebook and Twitter, the online platforms. Yeah, so I've quickly marked it up. Exactly, Shivani says social media. Yes. What else, guys? What else quickly? Is there anything else? I can find teenagers. Actually, teenagers could be a synonym for young students. Yeah, young people. It could be a paraphrased version of young people. Yeah. Again, social media. Okay. So I think I've got enough sort of a paraphrasing that can help me connect. Let me just quickly read and see if it's actually telling me the answer or not. And depending on that, I'll read it further. Okay. So let's see. Education Secretary Damien Hinds told the conference that the relentless presence of social media made growing up more pressurized, right? So it's kind of giving me a negative effect. Yeah. Let's see. He said this could be all pervasive, for teenagers, making them compare their own experience with perfect lives. Now it is completely paraphrased in different way. You are under more pressure, you tend to compare your life and try and make it appear as the most perfect lives ever. That's what we do in social media, right? So our answer is almost there. It is put up in complete paraphrased way, but the answer is there. That we've found online platforms, we found the discussion on young lives, and the negative impacts are mentioned. There's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of comparisons, and everybody tries to portray themselves to be perfect. So we've actually found all the information from the question statement that yes, online platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, or any social media are bringing in negative impacts on the young's lives. Yeah? So what is the answer? What's the answer, guys? Quick, quick, quick. Don't be lazy. True, exactly, Punya. The answer is true. है ना? Because we found out each and every information matching with the question statement. Any doubts? Anybody has any doubts? Let's go to the next one. Next one, what are we looking at the next one? Do you guys remember? Asa got it true as well. Great. Let's see the next one. Next one was talking about presence of pets in school helping kids with mental issues, and that is being put up in terms of some sort of an evidence. So we have to be careful about if it is bringing up as an evidence. Okay? So try and start skimming and scamming in terms of finding your evidence. Don't start reading each and every word. Do it how I have done. Let's do it together. And if in between you find any other words like pets and giving it support to the health problems of kids, if there's any word that you find in between, you can tell me. You can tell me quickly which paragraph. Okay, so we are not going back because we know these questions are always in order. So I'm gonna follow it up from there. Let's see. Let's see who finds it first. I'm also doing it at the same time. Nothing. Okay, there's some discussion of well-being dogs started, but nothing in terms of mental. Okay, Shivani is saying second paragraph, first two lines. Okay, let's see. So, okay, let me see if there's any discussion about schools, well-being dogs, about mental discussion. Okay, there's a discussion of mental health here. Okay, but no connection between all the keywords, isn't it? For schools, okay. What about others, guys? There's again a discussion of mental health problems. Okay. By the time we reach the end of the second paragraph, we know that they are discussing about mental health, but they are not putting all the information together, right? They are not yet putting all the information. Shivani, wait, we have more content for this. Your third paragraph is coming. Hold on. Hold on. So we know they're talking about mental health problems, right? But they're not putting together a conversation about schools, pets, and mental health problems all in once. So we'll go a little further and see if it's present. Yeah, all the information, all the keywords from your question statement are put up on separate areas. They are not coming all together to get out the meaning that we're actually looking for. So we'll go a little further in the paragraph and see if it's present there. Punya, yes, you got part of your words you got previously, but you're not getting all the information at one go, right? I guess you can't read this paragraph. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to squeeze it. Yes, can you guys see it now? 4 line. What about others? Guys, quick. Let me start doing it side by side with you guys. I hope I can read the comments. Let me just give me a second. Yes, I could see. Great. So Punya is saying 4th line. What about others? Astha has already given her answer. You guys have to help me to find it. Where is it first? Punya is saying 4th line. Let's see. Have you guys read it? Can I make it full screen so I can then write it over? Otherwise, I'm not able to write it over. Can I make it full screen now? You read it? Okay, let's see. So I was looking for evidence, I was looking for a discussion of pets, schools, mental health, all coming together and giving me a meaning from the question statement, right? So let's see if I can find them. Okay, there's a discussion of well-being. Okay, let's see if there's anything more. I'm quickly just going through. Okay, there's some animals coming up. You have dogs coming up. Okay, you have mental health in schools, right? So I've got most of my keywords, right? But I'm still not able to find anything associated to evidence, isn't it? Okay. So I've literally read 2 paragraphs. I've found out most of the information, but there's nothing anywhere given in terms of evidence. So now I need to be careful that if I'm reading the entire paragraph, 2 paragraphs, and I've got most of my keywords, is it actually that mental health, pets, schools are present in form of evidence or not? Is it actually a proof? Is it actually an evidence? So I'm going to read the paragraph now because it's a necessity now. I'm not able to find it, isn't it? So we'll double check if it's not mentioned in terms of evidence or not. So what I'm doing is I'm reading it quickly. The Education Secretary called for more attention to be paid to the ways of building up children's well-being, such as teaching emotional resilience and a sense of character. But Sir Anthony suggested another more low-tech approach to reducing anxiety, the soothing presence of animals such as dog. The quickest and biggest hit that we can make to improve mental health in our schools and to make them feel safe for children is to have at least 1 dog in every single school in the country, said Sir Anthony, because children can relate to animals when they're hurt and anxious, and said in a way that they can't always with human beings. It will be a powerfully cost-effective way of helping children feel more. So what's happening, guys? What do you think? What's happening? What I can assess is that there's this particular guy, Sir Anthony. He is suggesting that this can actually give some sort of a good impact on students, on the kids, because they'll feel connected with the dogs. But in nowhere it is saying that it is a proved version. It is a proved version, right? So you have a missing information from your keyword in your key statement, isn't it? Nowhere it says it's evidence, right? So your answer is, you guys got it correct. It is not given, right? It's not given. I'm only reading the paragraph if I'm not able to find it. Exactly, because you have to be careful about the sentence being false, no, or not given, because there's a slight difference over there. Okay, let's go to the next one. What was the next one? That you have to find about what is the government saying in terms of introducing some sort of scheme, and if it's actually in terms of promoting well-being in dogs or not. Okay, let's see. Let's find something related to government minister. We have education secretary, which might be somehow related to the politics. So I'm just marking it up. Let's see if we have something else from the keyword. Let me see who's gonna tell me. Come on, guys. We have again education secretary. Let's see. I'm not reading everything. I'm just trying to find my words. Nothing here. Okay. We have something called central dog policy, right? Now with central dog policy, I'm just getting a hint that maybe it could be a paraphrased version of Punya says last line. Why, Punya? Why? Why so? What about others, guys? Quick. It could be somehow related to central, might mean national too, and policy could also be related to scheme too. They can be possible synonyms, isn't it? Policy, exactly. So policy could be a synonym for scheme, and your central could be a synonym for national. So you've got a couple of words, and actually they're talking about dogs too. And in terms of government, I know that they have, maybe in terms of government ministers, they have talked about education secretary, right? They could be just put up differently because they're all under the category of politicians, right? So is it, now we've got all the keywords. Now we need to say if the information is actually matching. If it's actually that the government minister or the education secretary is planning to introduce a national scheme or not. Yeah, so I'm gonna read my last line because I've got most of my keywords here. I'm saying, and if I don't find it in my last line, then I'm gonna go further and start reading it there. God, sorry. So my last line says, he did, however, stated that although the dogs can really help, there are no plans for a central policy, right? So there are actually no plans. So all the information is given, but it is given in opposite way. What is the answer? Because in the question statement it said they are planning to introduce, but here it is saying they're not planning to introduce. So first of all, I have found all the parts of the sentence from my question statement present here, but they are saying just the opposite. So my answer is false. Is it clear to everyone? Is it clear to everyone? So you've got your answers. Bang on. Easy. Saving time. Not reading everything. Any question? Any question, Shivani, Punya, Astha? No? So that was a quick practice. In the following up series, I'll bring in more questions. So we are clarifying the strategies that we discussed more, okay? And I have already talked about the new courses coming up. The batch course where top 4 educators are presenting you all the 4 modules, and I am taking speaking in it, yeah? And the new crash course that is just started, we just had one session that started from 1st December. It's a 1 month crash course where I'm taking you through all the 4 modules, Okay, and today is the second class. So if you have a lot of interesting things in December and January, and I don't think you should be missing on any of it, right? And to be attending those classes, right, you have to take the subscription, right? I would just say that if you want to try and test it, take a 1 month subscription and join me. Okay, you can join me. It's a first, you can take a 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, whichever one you feel you're comfortable with, but I would definitely say take a 1 month course and definitely join, see if you find it good or not, and trust me, you're gonna find it productive. Okay, and when you are taking the subscription, you can use my referral code Fatma Meenaal, because it's gonna give you a 10% discount, right? And since these courses are literally starting soon, you have to get the subscription, and you're gonna get the details of the profile if you go to my Unacademy profile and go to the courses of Plus courses, and you're gonna find the details. Okay, and make sure while subscribing you use my referral code Fatma Meenaal, and guys, the prices are really cheap. And in case you have downloaded the Unacademy Learner app, you'll have some sort of credit scores which will get you additional 10% discount. So on these limited prices, we're also having 20% discount, and if you have less time, I can give you more discount. So you need to message me personally on my different social media groups, Telegram, Instagram and Facebook, and I can work things out better for you. If you need quick revision also, and you want to take up the courses, because you can watch previous videos and prepare your revision classes too. So make sure you are messaging me on my different social media profiles and coming to the live class. Yeah, Punya, am I expecting you in the class? You need a speaking partner? I'm going to be your speaking partner, Punya. You can join me. I'm starting the speaking class from 7th of December, and you're going to be doing it live. Yeah? And guys, please share about our courses. If you can share it with your friends, more and more people are, like you share it with more and more people, so more people are getting aware of the courses. So in case you have friends, colleagues who are interested, definitely share it, right? And in case you have, which country is better after 12th grade for medical courses? Personally, if you ask me, I think we are, in India, we are doing the undergraduates the best. But in case you're interested, you can go up to UK, to maybe US, Canada. But depends on what sort of planning do you have. Are you planning to settle down, or are you just planning to study and come back? There are many variables that can answer that question. So you have to think on very different aspects. Okay? So in case you guys have any further questions, you can stay connected with me on my social media profiles, and I'll get back to you with your answers. So I'll end the class now. If you like the class, please give a thumbs up and let me know how you found it. And stay tuned for the following up class on the series that we are doing. So we're ending the second class today. We'll be following it up with more questions and strategies. Thanks for tuning in. I hope to see you in the following up class. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.